Call this meeting of the Board of Education for Union County to order. It's a work session. I'd like to welcome our visitors. And at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Rayfield if he'd do our invocation.
I'll be glad to. Lord, we're thankful for this day and always thankful for the opportunity to come together and to do the work of public education. We pray that you'll watch over this meeting and our words and our actions will be pleasing to you, and we just pray that you'll take us through this meeting, take us all home safely. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
All right. On our agenda, has there been any additions to our meeting here? Okay.
No, sir.
Then, according to my agenda, we are going to have executive session. I'd like to entertain a motion for executive session.
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, at this point in time, we will be going into executive session. No decisions will be made in the executive session. It's going to be about personnel most likely, and we will come back as soon as we do our business into our regular session. All right, I'd like to call this meeting of Union County School Board to order. We've already had our invocation earlier. I'd like to welcome all of our visitors. And at this time, I'd like for y'all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Dr. Rayfield, is there any additions other than what has been presented to us, sir?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. At this time, I'd like to take a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, now we're looking at the approval of the minutes. Did everyone receive the minutes that we had from our previous meeting? Any questions or comments on those? Okay, I guess we can go ahead and approve the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I make a motion we approve the minutes as submitted.
I say. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, moving on to discussion items. On our next discussion items, we have a back-to-school update.
Just like to share with the board that we had a very smooth start to the school year. Everything has gone very well. The traffic is starting to level off, which seems to be an annual situation, but everything has been very smooth. I did want to share with you, though, just some enrollment numbers to give you an idea of how the system is steadily growing. The FTE count last fall, the FTE count was 2,766 students. Today we have 2,900 students enrolled, pre-K through 12.
What was the count last year?
2,766. So we've added some pre-K classes, but we're still growing on top of that. So that is a very positive indicator. And just for a frame of reference, in FY11, your total enrollment was 2,611. So you're up to 2,900 today. We're really not through with the period of time where people are still moving around and final adjustments are being made. But overall, we're showing growth, and that's positive both from a monetary standpoint and a funding standpoint. It's also positive for the community in terms of community growth. So just wanted to report that.
Thank you very much. It's good news. All right. Next item on our agenda, rescind policy IDCH. It's a summary of, I guess that's the dual enrollment
Yeah,
program?
we'll let, if Dr. Williams would share that, he's the one that brought that to the table.
A few years ago, if you remember, you went through all of our policies and we cleaned them up and used Harlan, Hartley, and Hawkins to go through that process along with Georgia School Board Association. They also give us quarterly updates, they also give us monthly updates of things that need to change and policies that either need to be revised, updated, or rescinded. In this case, in the most recent thing they sent us was to rescind policy IDCH, which dealt with dual enrollment. That whole change now over to Move On When Ready, which we have over 100 students at our high school this year participating in Move On When Ready. That's where they take a college class still as a student in high school. The reason they would like for us to rescind it is just to follow the state board policy versus having our own separate one. They've actually encouraged us to do that a lot more often because if that way, if the state changes it, we just follow the state. We don't have to then have another revision just to change our local policy. So this will be the first reading, and you will not be able to act on it until next month's meeting.
Okay. Great. And it's MOWR, Move On When Ready.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions from the board on that? Okay, good. Moving along. Action items, we're moving into the principal's quarterly report. Looks like we're off and running. Has the board had time to actually go over the quarterly report? Any questions or comments?
Anything from a financial standpoint? Or-
All still smooth sailing?
Are we good on supplies and stuff as far as with the money each of you have in your general fund? Do you feel comfortable?
I know we're gonna get some paper supplies and stuff, so that'll help out a lot in getting money from the beginning of the year. Bid we had, so that'll help out a lot.
That's not reflected on this set, because this was through June.
Right.
And they received the funds that were appropriated in the budget that you're referring to based on the numbers that I'm sharing with you tonight when we get a student count, because they get so much per student.
Very appreciated.
Have you received I know the Gooch House always gives funds to the high school or to the schools. Has everyone received that? Like normal?
We received paper.
Good,
We're
that's
very
great.
appreciative.
I thought she bought $4,000 worth of paper. That's great.
Any more questions, comments on the quarterly report? Do we need to vote on this, Dr. Rachel?
Yes.
All right, at this time, I take a motion to approve the principal's quarterly reports as submitted.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Moving on to the next action item, the budget amendments for 2016.
These are just amendments to last year's budget, there's the federal grants that we got late in the year that were amended.
They came through. Yeah.
They just came in late in the year, so just have to approve those.
The biggest chunk there is that Striving Readers Grant. That's where we informed y'all that the Chromebooks that we've been purchasing will be able to go one-to-one with our students, 3rd grade through 12th grade. So that total amount there you see in Striving Readers High School, K-5, and middle school reflects the carryover money that was provided for that in the federal grants
When does that have to be spent by?
into September.
Memorial. We wanted to do that.
We are. We actually have all the Chromebooks on hand. We met yesterday as a group. Dr. Davenport's leading one group, and Jill Liberator, who's our instructional technology specialist, leading another group. Dr. Davenport's group is looking at how to kick off the event as far as making sure our parents, our students, and teachers are all involved with it. And then another group that Ms. Liberatore is leading deals with the policy and acceptable use side of things. So we've got two groups that over the next month, we'll be working on the rollout for everything that we're doing. And then at the next board meeting, we'll have a brief report for y'all, hopefully during the work session, about the work that they've done.
Very good. And those Chromebooks will be filtered through our system, correct?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Any more questions on the budget amendments for 2016? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the FY16 budget amendments as submitted.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Next action item is the agreement with AEP for this year.
This is the same contract as the board approved last year. It's where we contract with Towns County Board of Education to provide alternative setting for their students in our alternative education program. They pay us a flat fee of $25,000 to take care of that. Nothing has changed in that agreement from last year except the dates. All the conditions and the amount remain the same. And once you approve it, then we'll take it to Towns County for their approval.
Good.
How many students do we have in this right now from Towns County?
Last year it got up to 9, I believe.
Nine, and I think I think he shared with me the other day that they probably have the potential for 10 or 11 spots is what they're predicting this time, so.
But the agreement is up to 220, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Are they counted under our FTE or Towns County? I think they're under Towns County.
Towns County's FTE.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion about the AEP agreement for 2016-17? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the AEP agreement with Towns County as submitted.
I'll make the motion to approve our AEP agreement with Towns County.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Moving on to the FY17 board governance from RESA.
We have to file a proposed plan for the board training and governance training with the state by September the 15th. What we have provided to you as an attachment in your agenda is a list of potential topics. And if there are topics that you would like to submit to me for consideration in that plan, we'll be glad to try to incorporate that into the training for next year. Basically, what we're looking at is trying to focus on some strategic planning going forward for the next 3 to 5 years. And they have some specific sessions for that, planning for boards of education and review and revision of system goals and priorities. Those two would fit together nicely with the strategic planning training. And the other one is board roles and responsibilities. We will be having we will be having one new board member come on in January. We also have a new superintendent. Usually that's a good time to have that training as well. So that's our suggestions, basically. But we have to have that in writing to the state board by September 15th. Now, we can change those offerings if we happen not to be able to make a date, or we happen not to be able to get a presenter or something like that. They allow you to make changes to the plan, but we do have to submit 3 courses that total 9 hours.
Is that the 15th, is that before or after our next scheduled board meeting?
September 20th is next.
So it would be before, so we don't really have to choose today, or?
We gotta pick 3 of these now, though.
We'll go by that recommendation.
My recommendation is the 3 board roles and responsibilities, planning for boards of education, and review and revision of system goals and priorities. Now, if there is something else on that list that you would like, we can either do that separately or incorporate it into one of the other sessions.
Have you guys had time to follow the whole recommendation?
I could recommend we go what he suggests.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this, sir?
Yes, you would.
Okay, well, at this time, I would take a motion to approve Dr. Rayfield's recommendation on FY17 board governance training from Pioneer Research.
And if we discover that there has to be a change in topics, or something is not available, or they don't have an instructor, whatever might come up, I will bring those back to you for your consideration.
But it still could be before the 15th.
The changes can happen anytime.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank
No,
you.
saying I'll make the motion.
Oh, okay.
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor? It's unanimous. Moving on to October board meeting change of date. We're recommending to change that date to October 11th. And would that have to do anything to coincide with the fall break?
Yes.
That's the reason why.
It would have fallen on the 18th.
Just letting everybody know.
That's right. It's a conflict with the calendar.
Right, okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the 11th of October being the new board meeting for October? No? Okay, well, at this time, I would take a recommendation to accept October 11th as the October board meeting.
I make that motion to move to 11th of October.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? That's unanimous.
And we will adequately publish that change and post it where everybody's aware.
Great, thank you. On to the tax digest and 2017 millage rate. I trust everybody on the board has had time to let this soak in. And I want to ask if anybody on the board has any questions or comments about the millage rate that's been proposed to us for the year 2017. It is listed at 11.78.
And it is the same as was discussed last month, it's the same as advertised and identical to last year, no change.
Very good. Does the board have any comments or questions about the millage rate for 2017? Okay, and I'll entertain a motion to accept 11.78 as the millage rate for the year 2017.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Moving on to personnel recommendations. Got quite the list here. Everybody, I would rather not read all those. We can
We
provide
do
a
have
copy
copies.
if anyone would like to have the names. There's quite a list here, so to save everybody some time and my bumbling tongue, it would be probably prudent to have you read your own list.
The majority of those are the after-school learning enrichment center employees, and we have a lot of substitute teachers on there as well. So for this time of the year, that's typical what we have as far as personnel is concerned.
And, all right, is the board, would you like to take these separate or all at once? Thank you. All right, at this time, I would entertain a motion for the new hires, the approvals, the promotion changes and separations, and the additional responsibilities for Union County.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? That will be unanimous. All right. Will there be anything else, Dr. Rayfield?
No, sir, that's all I have.
Well, in that case, I entertain a motion to dismiss.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?